Okay, so let's find our Tadasana at the top of the mat as I pull back my hair. Really ground down through all four corners of the feet. So just actively press in through the mound of flesh beneath the big toe, beneath the pinky. And then the outer heel and the inner heel. Just really press down and feel that contact with the earth. And since we've had a nice long day of working from home, we're not going to stay standing here for too long. We're going to move. We're going to move through practice. One breath, one movement. Just kind of use the body to work out whatever sluggishness might have physically built up for us throughout the day as we've been slaving away from our remote work station. So let's inhale the arms up, look up to the thumbs. Exhale, float the hands down and hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, bring the torso up halfway, palms pressed to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold back in with maybe a little more length. Inhale, rise up with a flat back, hands go out and then up to the sky, look to the thumbs. Exhale, come right on back down. These are half sun salutations, just warming up here. Inhale, halfway lift with the torso, really engage the abdominals. Exhale, fold in. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, rise up. Head comes up as the arms rise, gaze reaches high. Exhale, reach back on down. Lead with the chest here, fold in. Inhale, flat back, crown of head reaches forward. Exhale, fold back in, fingertips reaching for the earth. Inhale, rise up with integrity, flat back, strong core. Last time like this, float back on down. Really hinging at the hips, weight coming forward into the balls of the feet as you lift up halfway. And then fold back in on the exhale. Inhale, rise up, look up to those thumbs. Exhale, bring the hands down or to heart center. Sun salutation A variations. Inhale, reach up, look up. Kind of like what we just did. Let's fold at the waist. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands into the mat and step back both feet, one at a time, plank pose. Inhale here, maybe shift the weight forward on the toes. Exhale, drop the knees down and lower all the way to your belly. Inhale, swim up for a locust pose, hands and legs lift. Exhale, plant those hands down, press back, child's pose. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, tuck the toes, lift up, downward facing dog. And exhale. Inhale, look forward between the hands and just walk the feet forward. And then once you're there, exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find the length. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, rise up, look up to those thumbs. Right on back down. Let's keep flowing. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your plank pose. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, drop the knees and lower all the way to your belly, elbows hug in. Inhale, swim as I touch the plant to your locust pose, chest lifts. Exhale, bring the feet back down, press back, child's pose, forehead reaches to the earth. Inhaling here, exhaling here. Getting that day out, getting that blood moving. On your next inhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. And then look forward between the hands and just take some steps, however many you need, to find your fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, rise up, look up to those thumbs. We're going to do this 3 more times so you can really get into a rhythm here. Fold. Halfway lift. Plant the hands and step back to your plank pose. Shift forward onto the toes. Drop the knees. Slowly lower down to your belly. Swim the hands forward and up. And then feet rise. And then press those hands back down. Press back. Child's pose, hang here for a breath or two. Should start to feel some things get unstuck, maybe some of the energy shifting away. Tuck those toes, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. When you find your next inhale, that's a cue to look forward. Maybe a fewer steps it takes to get to the top this time. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, rise up, flat back, look up, reach up. And then come on right back down. Halfway lift. Torso's nice and flat here. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to a plank. Maybe the opposite foot leads. Shift forward, shoulders are slightly in front of the wrists. Drop the knees, lower to the belly. Swim the hands forward as the feet rise up. Locust pose. Press the hands and tops of feet into the earth as we press back. Child's pose. Forehead melts. Take a pause. Take stock of how this energy shift, how moving your body in this way after a day of just working at the computer, whatever it is you might have been doing, how this feels different. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it neutral? Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhaling, look forward, one big step. Another big step, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale with a little bit more length, fold back in, and then rise up. Look up to those thumbs. Last one. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, crown reaches forward. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to your strong plank, long line of energy. Inhale, shift forward. Drop the knees, lower to the belly. Swim those hands around to the back as the legs lift, locust pose. And then press into those hands. Shift the hips to the heels, child's pose. Deep breathing into the belly here. Press the belly into the thighs with each inhale. And with each exhale, maybe those hips melt towards the heels a bit more. Tuck the toes, lift the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Prepare to move forward with those nice, graceful big steps. Inhale, look forward, step, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, rise up. Look up. Bring the hands down to heart center or to your sides. Good job. Those sun salutation A variations. Let's reach up to the sky. Let's take it right on back down like we're so used to by now. Find that fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're just making some space through the waist when we lift up. So we fold back in with that length. Now take the fingertips to the earth and step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Drop the knee down and untuck the toes. Come up for a low lunge. Reach up to the sky. Looking to those thumbs. Feeling a long line of energy from that knee through the front of the right thigh all the way to that right pinky. Keep the core engaged here so that we're not dipping into the low back too much. And then swim those hands down as we shift the hips back, finding a half split. So the left toes pop up towards our face, and the right hip is about over the right knee. Fold over that front thigh. Getting some nice length and strength through that left hamstring. And now you can creep forward just a little bit so that we can bring the left hand to the inside of the left calf and start to rotate on that right knee to face the long edge of your mat. I'm going to face you. And then we're going to rise up. So we're standing on that right shin and our left leg is stretched out long. Reach the hands up to the sky. Get long through the waist, just like we did when we were standing. And then take the left hand down the leg, right arm reaches over, gaze goes up to the sky. Roll that right shoulder back. This is called gate pose. And then come back up through center, hands to a T, and let's just teeter-totter to the other side. So easy, right? Press that right hand to the earth. Left hand reaches up. The left toes can stay on the mat, or maybe you want to find a little balance here. Lift that left foot to hip height. A little kneeling side plank action. Take a big breath in and stretch. Exhale, come on back down, come up, hands to a T, and then take the hands down in front of you. Bring that left knee to meet the right so that you're kneeling on both knees here. We're just gonna take it to the other side. So with the fingertips in front of you, left shin is staying on the mat as the right leg stretches out nice and long. And then rise up. Hands come out to a T, then reach those hands up. Get nice and long through the waist. Take the right hand down the right leg, left arm reaches over. And once you're here, think of staying long through the right side of the waist, then reaching with that left hand. Getting a nice big stretch. We're open to the possibilities of what the rest of the evening can bring. Today might have been crappy, or it might have been great. But this is a transition period here. Come back up to a T, and then teeter-totter to the other side. Left hand plants right next to that left knee. Right arm reaches over. Reach that right arm straight up, and maybe we find our side plank here. So the right foot is stretched straight out from that right hip. We've got a nice balance here. So yep, physical movement in our body at this time of day, after a long day, is a marker. It's a transition point to say, we're on to the next thing. We can let all that other stuff go. Beautiful. Bring that right hand down. Walk yourself back to center so the fingertips are in front, and then just walk yourself all the way to the back of the mat. So we're just going to do a nice circular little rotation and find our low lunge with the right leg forward. So you can readjust here. Make sure that right foot is roughly underneath the right knee. And once you're ready and you feel stable, rise up, look up to those thumbs, dipping forward a bit into that hip flexor, but keeping strong through the core so the back doesn't tweak. Looking up, and then shift the weight back, find that half split. The right toes come towards the face as we fold over the thigh. We want to fold with that length we've created in our waist, chin towards the shin. Beautiful. Take a nice long breath in. Nice breath out. Shift forward, finding that low lunge position again. But we're going to try to plant the hands on either side of that right foot so we can lift off the back knee and step back to a downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a long breath out as those hips lift to the sky. Look forward between the hands and find those big steps to the back of your mat now. And then fold once you're there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in, fingertips to the earth. Step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat again. Drop the back knee down. Reach up for your low lunge. Look to those thumbs. Take the right hand to the right hip, and then arc over with the left. So we're making a nice little side stretch here as we're in our low lunge. Rolling the left shoulder back, finding some space. And then circle that left hand around and walk yourself to face the long edge of the mat. Drop that right knee to the earth. We're going to find a little modified frog pose. So you can just sit back onto your heels and feel a nice stretch through the inner thighs here. We can work our way to get a little bit deeper if you're not feeling much of anything. So walk those hands out. You want to get the shins so that they are parallel with one another and parallel with the short edges of your mat. And from here, you can just kind of walk those knees out just a little bit, maybe a little bit more, until you start to feel a stretch in the inner thighs. And then once you start to feel a little bit of that stretch, you can walk the hands forward, maybe until the forearms meet the mat. So you can imagine the further out your knees slide on the mat, and hopefully you do have something where you're not just slip sliding away, the more of an inner thigh stretch you're going to get. Breathe here. Feel that openness and feel that release. Sometimes an aspect of the transition to a different time is about letting go, right? Letting things happen, letting things go, moving on to whatever's next. After a long day at work, especially when you've got demands at home too, there really is something to be taking time to acknowledge that we do have to breathe and let go, like we do in this modified frog pose here. Walk your hands back in towards your thighs and just start to, as gracefully as you can, hop those knees and those shins. You can just kind of wiggle back so that you're on your shins yet again. Sit back onto the heels, reach up to the sky, look to those thumbs, and then float the hands on down. Let's bring the fingertips in front of us. And we're going to stay on that right shin and take the left leg out long like we're in that gate pose. But it's just a transition so that we can walk ourselves towards the top of the mat, finding our low lunge to the front. So the left foot is forward, left knee is over the left ankle. We're resting on that right shin. Come on up. Look to those thumbs. Take the left hand to the left hip. Arc the body over, finding a nice stretch through the side of the waist. Breathing here. Should feel good. And then circle that hand on down. Frame the left foot. Place the palms on the mat so you can tuck the back toes and step forward. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Fold, hinging at the waist. Grab opposite elbows and hang here, ragdoll. Just breathe here. It's going to feel like a really nice release for the hamstrings and the low back. Let the head hang heavy. Then when you're ready, release those hands, fingertips to the mat. We're just going to make our way to a seat. So however feels good for you, I'm just going to squat down, find my way to my bum. Then take the soles of the feet together, knees apart. You can reach for the ankles, you can reach for the tops of the feet. Those heels can come in nice and tight towards your hips, or you can have them outstretched a little bit further, whatever feels good on the knees and feels right for you this evening. So we've got the soles of the feet pressing in together. Hands are reaching for those ankles or feet. And then press the elbows down towards the thighs so you can lift the chest up and sit up nice and tall. Now I'm going to stay here, but for those of you that want to get more into the hips and kind of feeling more of that frog pose action, you can fold forward. Take the chin towards the toes. Keep the spine nice and long as you do. And keep the breath long as you do. Wonderful. If you're folded, rise back up to meet us. And then take those hands to the outsides of the knees, bring the knees together, and then just ever so gently, or have as much fun as you want to, as you rock and roll your way back to lying down. We made it. We're here. Keep that left leg long on the mat and hug that right knee into the chest so the hands can clasp below the knee on the shin. And just pull it in. You can flex both feet here, getting a nice stretch through the left hip flexor. And then a sensation in the right hip flexor as well. Breathe here and start to feel yourself slow down. So we were moving with one breath, one movement, as a way to kind of just get that day energy out of us. You know, whatever we were holding, whether it was stagnant energy, chaotic energy, just kind of get that moving, get that flowing in our physical body so that maybe we can let it go mentally and emotionally. So now is the time to let it go and to settle. Switch. So take the right leg out long, left knee comes in. Hug it in. This is also, flex the feet. These poses here, hugging the knee into the chest, is also great after dinner. If you just want to help ease and aid a little digestion of whatever delicious food you've had. This is a good one. Just do both sides. It's funny too how sometimes what we need is movement to let go of the day, and sometimes what we need is a bit of calm and relaxation. We're each different in that way, and each day is different. But I often find, like this practice, let go of that left knee and then bring the soles of the feet together. Knees come apart, so you're opening up those knees like a book. Rest the hands on the inner thighs or on the low belly, whatever feels good. And you can close the eyes here. I often find, like this practice, what my body and my mind is craving at the end of the day. It's a little bit of both. I just usually find that getting my body moving in a productive, physical way allows the energy to shift so that when I'm here, I can really let go and relax. Take the hands to the outsides of the knees. Bring those knees together. Hug both knees into the chest now. And take a breath. When you're ready, rock yourself up to a seat. Be it cross-legged, legs out long, whatever feels right for you. We're going to wrap up by just taking some nice deep breaths. So the hands can be on the knees or by your side. Shoulders over the hips, sit up nice and tall. Close the eyes or take the gaze down. As you inhale, just enjoy the sensation of filling up and growing tall through the torso. As you exhale, re-find that grounding and connection to the mat on the floor beneath you. Inhale, take up space. Exhale, feel that stability. You can sit and breathe here for as long as you need. Maybe tonight you did need a little bit more stillness and quiet. This time is yours, take advantage of it. For those of you that are ready to move on with the rest of your evening, you can flutter the eyes open if they're not already. Thank you so much for joining me for practice tonight. I hope this was a great way to bookend your day, and I hope you had a wonderful day. That you have a wonderful evening planned ahead, even if it's just going right to bed, because that's a good thing too. And I hope that you join me here next time on A Bit Better Yoga. That you follow me on Instagram, because that's where we can connect and kind of keep these good feelings going throughout the week. Have a wonderful evening. Hope to see you next time.